In the world of boxing, the fight is expected to stay within the ropes, a battle of fists and fortitude under the bright lights. But what happens when the darkness of crime spills out of the ring and into real life? Today, we delve into a story where the pursuit of glory takes a backseat to a tale of tragedy and betrayal. Félix Verdejo, once a beacon of Puerto Rican pride in the 2012 Olympics, now sits in the shadows of a life sentence, his legacy forever tarnished by the heinous crime against Keishla Rodriguez Ortiz, his 27-year-old pregnant lover. Join me as we unravel the details of this chilling case. From the heights of Olympic dreams to the depths of unforgivable acts, we'll explore how a promising career was knocked out cold by a series of life-shattering decisions. Before we step into the ring of this true crime story, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell to join our community of sleuths. Share your thoughts and theories in the comments below as we piece together the events that led to a verdict that shocked a nation. Stay tuned, and let's discover together how a fighter's fall from grace became a fight for justice. Félix Verdejo, a former Puerto Rican boxer, has been sentenced to life in prison for the kidnapping and murder of his pregnant lover, Keishla Rodriguez Ortiz. The case has garnered significant media attention due to its brutal nature and Verdejo's prior status as an Olympic athlete. In April 2021, Rodriguez was killed, and her body was found after an anonymous tip-off. The case concluded with Verdejo receiving 2 life sentences after emotional testimonies from Rodriguez's family. Verdejo was once a promising lightweight boxer, representing Puerto Rico in the 2012 Olympic Games and turning professional the same year. He was seen as the next great Puerto Rican star in the sport, with a professional record of 27 wins and 2 losses, including 17 knockouts. His career, however, took a dark turn following his involvement in the murder of Rodriguez, leading to his recent life sentence. In the heart of Puerto Rico, a relationship that once blossomed in the shadow of boxing rings turned into a plot of deception and tragedy. Félix Verdejo, a name that echoed through the halls of boxing fame, found himself entangled in a fatal affair with Keishla Rodriguez Ortiz, a young woman carrying the promise of new life within her. Their relationship, hidden from the public eye, was fraught with complexities. Verdejo, married and in the prime of his career, was not ready to welcome the child Keishla was expecting. The pressure mounted, and the demands for an abortion set a grim stage for the events that would unfold. As the fateful day dawned, Verdejo's intentions were clear. With the help of an accomplice, he lured Keishla under the guise of conversation, a meeting that would lead to her untimely demise. The day's light did little to hinder the dark deed, as Keishla was brutally attacked, punched, and injected with substances unknown, her life fading as the hands that once cheered for Verdejo now sought to silence her forever. Their journey ended on a bridge, a place where lives are meant to cross paths, not end. Bound and weighted, Keishla was cast into the waters below. As the sun set on that tragic day, the light of 2 lives was extinguished, leaving behind a tale of love, betrayal, and a crime that would send ripples through the world of sports and beyond. The grim discovery of Keishla Rodriguez Ortiz's body in the serene waters of the San Jose Lagoon marked the beginning of a harrowing investigation. 2 days after her family reported her missing, the search ended in tragedy. Identified through dental records, the reality of her fate became a tangible nightmare for all who knew her. As the autopsy report laid bare the brutal injuries inflicted upon Keishla, a chilling picture emerged. Her jaw and nose were fractured, a testament to the violence she endured. But it was the toxic cocktail found in her system that painted a darker stroke in this macabre portrait. Fentanyl and xylazine, a sedative typically reserved for large animals, coursed through her veins. The substances found were not of the kind one stumbles upon in daily life. They were indicative of a premeditated act, a sinister plan executed with precision. The presence of these drugs suggested a level of calculation that sent shivers down the spine of the community, and the investigators tasked with piecing together Keishla's final moments. As the waves of the lagoon lapped against the shore, carrying with them the silent whispers of a life cut short, the quest for justice began. The anonymous tip-off that led to the discovery of Keishla's body was the first piece of a complex puzzle that law enforcement would painstakingly assemble in their pursuit of the truth. As the gavel echoed in the hushed courtroom, the trial of Félix Verdejo unfolded like a grim drama, gripping the heart of Puerto Rico. Key moments from the trial were etched into the public consciousness, testimonies that laid bare the harrowing details of Keishla Rodriguez Ortiz's final moments. Witnesses recounted the chilling narrative, painting a picture of premeditated cruelty and callous disregard for life. The prosecution's case was a mosaic of incriminating evidence, each piece locking together to form an irrefutable chain of guilt. Verdejo's defense hinged on countering the avalanche of evidence. His attorney's statements sought to cast doubt, to find cracks in the prosecution's armor. Yet, the defense's narrative struggled to gain traction against the weight of the facts presented. The verdict resonated with a somber finality: guilty on charges of kidnapping resulting in death and intentionally killing an unborn child. The courtroom, a microcosm of the community's outrage and sorrow, watched as Verdejo was handed down a life sentence, a stark endpoint to a life once celebrated in the boxing ring. In the quiet aftermath, the sentence reverberated beyond the courtroom walls, a declaration that fame and talent are not shields against the consequences of heinous acts. For Keishla and her unborn child, it was a measure of justice. For the community, a somber reminder of the work still needed to protect the vulnerable. In the wake of Félix Verdejo's sentencing, the island of Puerto Rico was engulfed in a collective mourning and a palpable demand for justice. The public reaction was a mix of relief and profound sadness, as communities came together to remember Keishla Rodriguez Ortiz and to support her grieving family. Kayla Ortiz, Keishla's mother, became the embodiment of a plea for justice, her words resonating with every parent's worst nightmare. Her calls for justice, echoed by a chorus of voices across the nation, became a rallying cry for change. The tragedy of Keishla's death has reignited a crucial conversation about domestic violence in Puerto Rico. Activists and citizens alike are now pushing harder than ever for systemic changes to protect victims and prevent such atrocities from happening again. The case has become a catalyst for a broader movement, challenging the island's institutions to take a stand against the scourge of domestic violence. As Puerto Rico grapples with the aftermath of this tragedy, the memory of Keishla and her unborn child continues to inspire action. The hope is that their legacy will lead to a future where such senseless violence is a thing of the past, and where justice and protection are not just promised but delivered. As the case of Félix Verdejo closes with a life sentence, its echoes reverberate through the legal corridors and the social fabric of Puerto Rico. The legal system has spoken, delivering a message of accountability, irrespective of one's social standing or past accolades. The broader implications of this case for society are profound. It challenges us to reflect on the intersection of fame, power, and justice, and it underscores the ongoing battle against domestic violence. This case has become a touchstone in the fight for a legal system that serves all, with fairness and without prejudice. In closing, the story of Keishla Rodriguez Ortiz and the downfall of Félix Verdejo is a somber reminder of the fragility of life and the responsibility we all share to protect and honor it. It's a call to action for each of us to stand against violence in all its forms and to support those who suffer in silence. As we reflect on this case and its significance, I invite you to join the conversation. Comment below with your thoughts, and if you're passionate about seeking justice and making a difference, subscribe for more content that delves into the stories that shape our world. Together, we can be a force for change.